Let me come back to this diagram here with this administrative hierarchy. We have interfaces between school and cluster, between cluster and block. That is to say, going from low level to high level, there are, as you can see in this diagram, there are 5 interfaces. These interfaces are important because cluster level official wants to know something about all the schools coming under him or her. So these interfaces define the minimum level of data necessary for the management of school, if you are looking at cluster, and similarly it goes on to higher levels. If you talk about country, then primary thing would be the fund management that is being done by central agencies. So these are the interfaces. These interfaces tell me what I can access from the local data repository, both ways, what I can request and what will be provided. The first interface, the most important interfaces, and we will also have peer interfaces, not just in the hierarchy. Peer interface at the lowest level will exist between different schools. So what I have tried to show in this diagram is there are many schools, they all have to, we had these school level issues to be handled. So every school wants to record data about students' performance, attendance, exams, results, teachers. So coming to this, every school has to do the same thing. Now if you are looking at cluster level official, he wants to look at the general attendance records. He wants to look at the teacher's performance, and we'll talk about feedback. Feedback is very important. If students are well aware that they are also part of the process, and some or the other time they are giving feedback, it gives true picture about the process. Where is the process heading? And peer level interfaces are important because in some school the school will be functioning well. Some school will not be functioning well. If you are having interfaces defined, one school can take advantage from the other school's management practices. What is right with them and what we are doing wrong. And this interface is standard across all schools. It is not defined time and again. Once it is defined by regulating bodies, that is, I am talking about policies, but once defined, one school can always query about the other school's activities, and if they think that it is their activities are successful, they can always look at the factors what is making their process successful and where we are lacking. And it works both ways between any two schools. I have just now shrunken this into this big circle. Now we are talking about school, district, state. State is at state level it is the highest body which makes policies. So now we are also talking about the information that passes between a school and ultimately to the state. The same concept of interface applies here. State wants to know about some minimum level of data that it requires to manage schools. If it is able to get this data instantly, then they are better able to take decisions in a timely manner. So coming back to interfaces, in our paper we have alluded to a term called web services. I hope some of you are tech savvy and you know what is the current web services technology. We are also dealing with in our student course there. Web services is basically adoption of web-based standards, which is global. Everybody knows what HTTP is. I should not say everybody, but majority of us, how an internet browser works. So in short, web services enable us to have applications that can vary technology-wise, but have same interfaces. So two applications know how they can talk to each other. Even if the storage is Oracle or storage is PostgreSQL or MySQL, it doesn't matter as long as I can get to the information on time and in the format that I want. So this is the concept of our interfaces. Lastly, it is between state and country. Country needs again some minimal information from all the states, which will help them to take decisions. So this completes my presentation. I would like to conclude with these 4 points. Education is the foundation for a good society. It has been time and again established. ICT based efforts are already being implemented. Some of them are successful, some of them have failed. So why don't we have an integrated process that allows us to look at why the process failed or why the process is succeeding. The model that we have discussed, as it has a layered architecture and it is based on policies that are defined by regulating bodies, It will once it is implemented, it will provide timely and accurate data, because by its nature we are depending upon interfaces, so the data is always accurate. Obviously, there are some other issues like non-repudiation and all such technical terms that we need to handle. Last is, the process must be streamlined, and that enables us to have global data access. Global is very important. I don't need to go to some office. I don't need to go to some building or to put up a specific paper request. I need to have global data access. It is, and then I need to have efficient operations. If I have data on demand on my fingers, operations will tend to be more efficient if I am not having many roadblocks. And lastly, all these things will lead to transparency and general goodwill. The process is generally getting better and better, looking at other processes. I would like to now conclude. Thank you.